Okay, ladies, we are now live. And so today, of course, we're featuring Skylah, who is a 7-year-old author with Declare Publishing, who wrote her very first book, The Girl in the Bookbag. From what we understand, even through her website and the summary information, is that Skylah wrote this book based upon her own personal experience. And to the best of my ability, while not giving the book away, we want to just ask some questions of you and Skylah, Lashonda, and just ask you that you speak clearly as you can and answer the questions the best that you can. Sure. So, Miss Skylah, you ready? So, Skylah, what inspired your courage to face being bullied? What gave you the courage to face the situation that was going on at school?
Well, my parents always told me to speak up and to never be afraid because they have my back.
Well, that's really good. You have really great parents. I think that a lot of our other children can benefit from that same kind of information from their parents because, Skylah, it could have gotten to a fight. Could have gotten in each other's face. But I really admire the fact that you went and that you shared it with your parents and, and that the situation turned out well. So the next question I want to ask is, so what motivated you to write a book about it? Where did that inspiration come from? How did you get to a place where you really wanted to write a story? And how was that? Was that a little scary that you were going to share that personal part of your life with other people?
Kinda.
So what made you write the book?
I was motivated by the need to spread awareness in a way that will make my peers comfortable with sharing their own experiences with bullying or just giving their point of view.
Take it on. Point of view through storytelling.
Oh, all right. So you were thinking about others, and, that's also an admirable trait, which leads us into the next part of the interview, which is about character building. So Biz Kidz, we do a lot with character building with Biz Kidz. And as a 7-year-old author, you're not only are you a young entrepreneur, but you officially classify as one of our Biz Kids. And with the focus of being character building, we think that character building is important, and it's a real true bridge to success. And the reason that I believe that is because we have a lot of talented people. But talent might get you where you're going, but I believe character keeps you there. So do you know what character is? Do you have an understanding of what character is?
Yes, I think so.
Character. Okay, so
Character to me can be someone's personality and attitude towards different structures. Situations.
Okay, so you're saying it's pretty much how people behave in any kind of in situations, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I said that I think character building is like learning our ABCs when we first go to school, because ABCs help us learn how to read and write, and character helps us to make good decisions and to do the right thing. So why do you think it's important to have character?
Why do you think it's important?
I think it's important having character because that is what helps you make decisions.
That's true. And you want to make good decisions, right?
Yes.
Not only for yourself, but even concerning other people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Do you think other young people your age should have character? Do you think they benefit from having good character traits and good character lessons, and why? Why do you think so? Go ahead.
I think everyone should have character because it is what makes us individuals.
Okay. So do you think that good character building lessons could have prevented the bullying incident?
Maybe.
Okay. You want to elaborate a little bit? You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So why do you think maybe?
It can be true. True because sometimes people make mistakes, although they might know better.
Okay. That's true.
So can it be tricky and not true? Don't you think? I think tricky is the best word.
You think tricky is a better word? I don't know. I mean, I think, Lashonda, I kind of think I can follow the course of it can be true because you know better, but you still can do the wrong thing. So it doesn't mean that character is the issue. That means that a person just didn't follow. They didn't use their tools, right? Right, Skylah?
So that's what you're saying. They didn't use their tools in a good way.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're saying that in every situation we could always choose good or we could choose bad, right? And sometimes we choose bad even when we know better, right?
Yes.
All right. So I've written some books. I've co-authored some books called, we have 2 Biz Kidz books and a School Days book. And the children in our books are called, their last name are Maynard, so they're the Maynard children. And they're known as Biz Kidz. And in their books, they learn many lessons about character. They grew up back in a really long time ago when they had really challenging situations. You know, they grew up on a farm. You know, they grew up in the South. They didn't have a lot of money and things, but they learned character at home, and they were held responsible. And I think that them being held responsible helped them reach their goals. So in the future, how do you think character will help you with your goals?
Well, I think character will help me with my future goals because I will learn more things and continue to build my character, which will help me and do great things.
Okay. So, and you're going to choose good character, right?
Yes.
So you can make good decisions, right? All right.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to other children your age that might encourage them to pursue their dreams?
What advice would you give other kids so they can pursue their dreams?
So, like, if a kid wants to write a book, they could probably read my book, and I will probably inspire them of them writing their first book.
So you're saying to allow your example to motivate them and inspire them and even give them the courage, right? Because it takes a lot of courage and nerve. Yeah. I like that. Skylah, you're going to be all right. I see you doing great things. Okay. So our next segment is called Gifted for Greatness. Gifted for Greatness is a hashtag that we have, and all the young people know about hashtags. And it goes along with, hashtag. Because Biz Kidz is called IAmABizKid, and our hashtag is Gifted for Greatness. And I chose IAmABizKid so that we can identify, positively and say that I am something great and I am gifted for greatness. So as the Biz Kidz in the story learned about character, they also discovered that each one of them had their own unique sets of gifts and talents, right, that supported each other's dreams. So there were 5 of them, and each one of them they were good at something different, right? But when they put it all together and they worked together, a bigger picture came out of it. So what do you think your gifts, what kind of gifts and talents do you have?
Well, I am a storyteller. I can dance, do gymnastics.
All right.
And I'm also a fashionista.
You know, I like that fashionista because, you know, Skylar, I really dig your style. I mean, you know, you setting trends for the young people.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So how do you think that your gifts and talents support your dreams and your ambitions for the future?
I have talent and gifts. I'm ambitious to use them.
I see. So you really want to use yours. I see you started early. You started at 7. Some people are, you know, 3 times your age and don't even know, you know, what to do and have a hard time getting started. And you started at age 7. So, I mean, I'm inspired. You got a head start, girl. You out in front. So the talents that we have, right, they usually allow us to share our gifts with other people. And you said to me that you have a talent for storytelling. And that's been a gift to other young people because through your storytelling, you encourage other people to deal with issues, not even just the issue of bullying, but with any issue, being able to be vocal and speak up and do the right thing even in the midst of it, and you ended up with a really good outcome. So in what other ways might your gifts help people? I know that you said that you're a storyteller, you're a fashionista. So how is your talent as a fashionista, how might that help other people?
Well, we get out the they get out of confidence.
They will get confidence.
They will have confidence.
Oh, okay. Because, honey, you have to have a lot of confidence to sport those outfits. And, I mean, Skylar, I'm inspired.
And if they see I could do it, they could do it.
All right. That's good. You know, some people don't like other people to do what they're doing. But I see that you want to motivate other people, and that's really good because I'm inspired. And, you know, I'm probably old enough to be a grandma, but I'm inspired. Don't tell anybody. But I'm inspired. I mean, I love your sense of style. And you come off as being a really big girl. Not, you know, 7 seems like a small number because you're such a big person. So I'm really glad that I have an opportunity to kind of see some aspects of you and kind of watch your style and watch you come forward and watch you emerge. So you inspire me anyway. So now we're going to move to the next segment called the out-of-the-box thinking. So people who are gifted for greatness are often able to think outside the box. They go beyond barriers and they go places where other people aren't necessarily willing to go. So you have a talent, as we just talked about, for creating beautiful and distinct fashion styles. And your fashion statement displays your willingness to step outside the box. What gives you the courage to do those things that most people aren't comfortable with, Skylar?
Knowing I can do and be anything I set my mind and heart on is what gives me courage.
Okay. So you can do anything. And I guess that's well supported from your parents, huh?
Yes.
Mhm. So how do you respond to people who try to discourage you? You know, sometimes when you do things that's a little different than other people, people don't always say good things about it, or people kind of like, well, why would she do that? How do you respond to that?
Well, I don't.
Oh, very good. Very good. Sometimes the greatest ammunition you can have, Skylah, is your silence. And
well,
it seems to go ahead, sweetie.
Well, the support of my parents and family is all the courage I need.
I get it. But sometimes you don't have to argue with other people. You just have to work at being you. That's good. That's really good. And you don't seem to be discouraged at all. So I told you, you inspire me. So now, Mom, we're gonna move into the Parenting for Greatness section. So in the Biz Kidz, I mean, and it's interesting because Skylah, she really fits into, and even her answers and responses fit into the motif that we've created around Biz Kidz because they had a really strong support system. You know, their parents offered sound advice, taught them responsibility, and encouraged them in their ventures. Skylah, and this one is for Skylah. Skylah, your parents have gone to great lengths to provide wonderful support, and it fits well within our concept of parenting for greatness. So what was your parents' response when you first told them you wanted to write a book?
They was like, oh, sure.
Okay. And then what?
And they wanted me to come to them with a title and a story. So I went to my journal and I wrote a journal entry and put down my story, and they fixed it, and then, well.
Wow. So you have a journal. You have a journal, Skylah?
Mhm.
Yes.
I think journals are really. Yes, I think journals are really good, especially, you know, to write down your thoughts and your ideas. I think everyone should journal. I don't have a journal, but I write a lot of things down. I have a lot of creative thoughts and things, and I write them down. So yay to the journalers. Mom, do you journal, Lashonda?
I used to, but I stopped. But I do sometimes write a little note in my phone because I have my phone attached to me more than a notebook. So
I understand.
Notes and thoughts. Sometimes I post, but I'm trying to stop my little rant.
I got you. You know, but Skylah, let me tell you something about having journals. When you look back in a few years, you can look back and see, you know, what you did and what you were talking about, and I think that's really cool because sometimes we get away from even some of the things we may have thought about doing, but we can go back and look in our journals, and it's like, wow, you know, I still would like to do that. And, I mean, being 7, you have a lot of life in front of you, but sometimes it's nice to look back and see your achievements and even look back and say, hey, you know, I wanted to do this, and maybe now I can pick this up and do this. So I really applaud you, Skylah. It does take a lot of courage to face uncomfortable situations, and, you know, I'm glad that you handled it well, and I think that you are really a good example, especially for someone your age in a situation like that, because, you know, being bullied can be a scary kind of situation, but I believe that your situation is different from a lot of other people's because of your parents. And Lashonda, you really do have a very exceptional daughter. So now some questions for you, Mom. So what are some of the challenges that you face as a parent of a child who's gifted for greatness?
Some of the challenges, for me personally, Skylah has many talents, so she wants to do everything at one time. So it's overwhelming, and then the support of others. Because if you put something out there like a book or a product or anything, you want people to support, especially coming from a kid. And if someone is writing a story like Skylah did, based on a topic that's very prevalent in today's society, especially with small children, you won't want people to, you know, support and spread the word and share the story. But I mean, not everyone is like that. So that's fine.
Were you concerned about that? That, you know, people, you know, the support factor. Were you concerned about how that would affect Skylah? Because that's kind of that, you know, success kind of measure, you know. And when you didn't get the support, I mean, I guess it also provided an opportunity for a conversation around that because, you know, in life, you know, we have the ups and downs of it. You know, we have the goods and the not so good sometimes. And so it's a good lesson also, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to be discouraged by that.
Right, right. But those are good things to start dealing with. I mean, she took on bullying. Hey, you know, I think she can do just about anything. So, absolutely. I mean, I know that I watched you support her through the whole publishing process and advocate for her, you know, through marketing and sharing with people, which, you know, that she had a book. So what were your initial thoughts when she told you she wanted to write a book?
It was one of those, okay, Skylah, it will be something else next week. At that time, we were in dance. We were trying modeling. So it was a lot going on already. So I was like, all right, Skylah, that's just something else you want to do. So I'm like, well, come to me with a title and a story. Let me see how serious you are. So I didn't think she was going to be too serious, but
so you actually held her accountable for something, and you gave her a task to do. Okay.
Maybe she's not. It's probably just a random thought, and she ran with it for the moment. So I'm like, well, I challenged her. I'm like, well, come to me with a title, a working title, and then with a story that fits the title, and I'll take it from there. Really did not think she was going to write a story or even come to me with a title, and she did shut me all the way up. So I'm like, well, I have to figure out what to do with it. She did her part. She held her end of the bargain.
So now Mom had to kick in, right? So we know that what can we do? Yeah, Mom had to get a pocketbook straight, right?
Exactly.
Because we know that we also know that there's an investment. You know, there's a financial investment here, and there are other investments, your time, you know, and the efforts and everything else. So what kind of investments were you willing to make as a parent to help her bring this forth? And did you set boundaries and limitations? You know, how did you go about this whole, you know, the investments in, you know, and managing and monitoring that?
Well, I was all in. It was whatever it takes. That's just what we're going to do. Whatever I have to range from a, you know, monetary and financial aspect, it was all right. Well, I may pay this a little later or pay a little more now, you know, and wonderful publishing company. You tell them the situation that they work with you. They figure out a plan because the goal is done. And then setting up social media accounts and word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best marketing tool, if you ask me.
It still is. It still is. Yes, so it is.
Having a book signing, I'm like, it has to be an event. People see it's a big event and it's a part of the celebration and it's kind of professional. People will gravitate to that. So it was whatever it takes. That was my motto. Whatever it takes.
It was really a partnership between you and Skylah, because it's not as though you did it for her. You know, you didn't do it for her, but you supported her. But you definitely made sure that, you know, the steps were being taken, and I can attest to the fact that you did a great job with pulling it together and with displaying it in a very, very creative way. So, and a lot of times, because I believe that there are a lot of children who tell their parents they want to do things, but I mean, sometimes I think that it's kind of shooed away, oh, you're not really serious, but they really were serious. And I like the fact that you gave her some actionable items, and when she did them, you know, I think that was kind of a proof test that she was really serious. And, you know, I know you took the gun by both barrels, and you went in and really got it done. And so I know, but you learned the process also. So
no way for kids to learn skills too. She learned networking skills. She learned how to support other kids in their businesses by doing pop-up shops and events with other children who have their businesses trying to get off the ground. So it's a learn. Not only is she selling her product and telling her story, she's also learning to support other people in their business ventures. She's learning how to communicate as well with other people and have a little business plan. So it's all good.
So is there any advice you would give or share with other parents who have children that are gifted for greatness and, you know, who have special talents and giftings? What advice would you give to them?
I would say let your kids flourish. Do not categorize them or hold them to one thing. If it is 20 things they want to do, I mean, you want to be realistic, but don't tell them, no, you can't do this, you can't that. Let these babies shine bright and be who and what they are. You have to put them on a path to do just that, especially ground.
I do. I totally agree. And I think that the encouragement allows them to really feel empowered, you know, to tackle even challenges, you know.
And it helps with their confidence.
Yes, because it says I can instead of, well, I can't, and my mother said I can't, you know. Yeah, I agree. You know, I'm looking forward to whatever future developments and outcomes that comes out of this special parent-child partnership, as well as, you know, other people's testimonies who are inspired by your examples. We try to share information like this so that we can begin to shift the mindsets even of parents and children alike, because I think that there's a lot of untapped talent that our children have. And you don't really get the opportunities a lot of times, or the motivation a lot of times, just in the day-to-day to do things that are outside of, you know, the regimented norm. So I appreciate both you and Skylah for really being like these the parent mom daughter pioneers here, you know, that can actually help raise the bar for other people. Because Lashonda, you know, the little I know about you, I know that you like to do things and you like to do them well, and it raises the bar. And I think we could use a bit more excellence and start to kill some of that mediocrity, put away some of that mediocrity that we see. I know. I know you do not like mediocrity, and put away normal, because you know, we're not cookie cutters, and I really love to see the diverse abilities in our children. So thank you for sharing, Skylah, with us, and thank you for participating as a featured Biz Kid. And like I said, I'll download the recording and share it, but I may actually do the transcript so that people can really see the words and can see the words and. You know, and if I know Skylah had notes because she was prepared. So, you know, if you even want to share the notes, that would be helpful so that we transcribe it well. Hang on one second.
Oh, okay.
Let me turn off the recording. Yes, Miss Skylah?
I also want to say one more thing.
Okay.
So, I have turned 8 now.
Oh.
Okay.
You wanted to say she's 8, not 7.
Oh,
well,
I'm so sorry.
Came out
I'm so. But when you started, you were 7. Okay, for the record, Skylah is an 8-year-old now. She's a whole year older. And so, I mean, I'm sure that also comes, Skylah, with some more with additional big plans, right? You have some more plans?
Yes, I have a lot.
Oh, I can't wait to see what you do. Because I believe that you can do anything.
And you know you will be a part of it because we will be emailing.